So now that you know a little bit about what a future task is used for and the kind of general capabilities it provides, which are running computations in a background thread and then using via the runnable interface, and then being able to get the results in a future-like way because it implements the future interface, let's talk specifically about its key methods that it provides. So these are the methods. There's other methods, but these are the ones that are the important ones. The first thing you can do is you can create an instance of FutureTask. And when you do that, you pass to its constructor a callable. Remember, the callable method is this two-way computation where you can invoke the call method, and then it gives you a result back. So that's what the callable can do. And you give it a callable as a parameter shown here. And as we'll see in a second, there's a run method here. And this run method, as we talk about here, will go ahead and forward to the call method on the callable that was stashed away. And if the run method, when the run method is called, remember this run method is going to be called in a background thread in the thread pool typically. It doesn't have to be that way, but that's almost always the way it's used. And when that run method is called, under the hood, it turns around and calls call, and it will set the result of the future task to the result of the call method's return value unless it's been canceled or unless an exception is thrown. So that's how things get computed, by calling call on the callable that was passed in as the constructor parameter. Then you can also check to see whether the task was canceled or it finished normally by is canceled and is done. You can cancel a future task, and you can pass in a Boolean here that says, do we tell something, you really need to shut down even if you're running, or do we just sort of cancel it and let it finish whatever it's doing? And then you can either get the results by blocking, or you can get the results by a timeout, which could either be 0 or some greater than 0 value. And then finally, there's a method here called done. And this is really the only method other than the constructor that doesn't come out of runnable future, which is runnable plus future. And done is a hook method that will be called back after the run method completes. Actually, I think it's actually after the run method calls call. As part of the run method, done gets called back. And subclasses can override this method to do various things. And in our particular case, for the executor completion service, which is one common use case for this future task, you could do things like call the add method to add a completed future on the completion queue. But you can do other things as well, as we will see as we look at other examples. Okay, so those are basically the key methods in FutureTask. Again, a lot of this stuff is just implementing the future interface on some computation that can run in the background and have a hook method that gets called when everything's finished.